Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Toon Kind at 12 FPS. This is a story to live by. I am one of the players, Wick, and I am joined by the lovely.
Hi, my name is Magic. Uh, Today I am going to be playing a band called Seeker, uh, who may or may not be trespassing on purpose. It really depends on if he was let in the front door or not. Anyway,
I mean, there is a back door. Do we want to start there?
I mean, he probably walked in the front door. Let's be honest, but he didn't really. He didn't ask for a room. He just kind of went upstairs. He already knows this place. It'll be fine. He didn't come here to stay in a room or anything. He came here to fucking use the library. Of course he did.
So, um,
I think
this man just trespassing.
just walks in the fucking front door and just heads for the stairs.
He just waltzes through the front door.
He probably has the gall to wave at the front desk as he walks by.
Well, maybe I should roll something. Hold on. That gives me an idea.
Can I roll a deception just to be like, yes, I exist here. Nothing wrong here.
Should I roll so then should I roll an insight or should I roll a perception?
I mean, I will say Seeker has disadvantage on all stealth checks. He's not going to try to be stealthy.
Okay, great. That's what I thought. Well, I guess I'll roll insight then.
Hold on,
on the front desk person, which happens to be a very soft and huggable.
Aw, 14. Not that
Purple.
great.
Purple lion. So yeah, you don't actually see most of the troop members, and you have a feeling maybe that's because they're doing practice in the theater, or maybe they're on the road already. You're not quite sure. You don't know how they really get around.
Yeah, they'll probably be back by the end of the week, noting they did
perfect.
that one thing. You know, that one thing. That's for later, because he has to wait 10 days. Anyway,
perfect. This is a great roll. Ruffles does not suspect anything. This is a 7.
Does he wave back?
Yeah, Ruffles is just like, oh, hi. Yeah. Actually doesn't even say anything, just waves a little like, oh, hello. Yes, this is totally normal.
I think Seeker calmly walks up the stairs, like absolutely nothing is wrong. Walks further down the hallway, turns the corner, continues walking down the hallway, turns the corner, kind of he doesn't start like sprinting or anything, but he does kind of like pick up his step as he sees the door of the library.
Like, here we go, here we go.
Yeah, and very not carefully opens the door very wide.
Just bam, I'm here reading. Reading time.
Yeah. If he was a toon, there would be sparkles. Congratulations, Kiki, you're not even here. Your library is going to be, anyway. It won't be ruined. It'll just be a little mess. It's fine. Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's not there?
Am I sure he's not there? Should I roll perception?
I don't know. Are you?
I mean, Seeker's entering regardless. Anyway.
Okay.
That's a total 9 of perception. Seeker doesn't see shit.
Beautiful. Hold on.
Fucking walks in. Like nothing's wrong in the world.
Oh, beautiful. The dichotomy. Honestly, I already love this dice. You know why?
Why?
You want to know why?
I kind of do.
So I rolled a nat 20 and then rolled a nat 1 in a single breath. So I have to say, this was at disadvantage. Kiki is in here, but has somehow, in just totally engrossed in a book, has not noticed you.
God. I kind of just want to do some. I want to see how long it takes Kiki to notice, honestly.
So far, you see, I mean, the library isn't very big, and since you kind of just busted through the door, you can kind of see a little bit of him as he's sitting in the rocking chair in the corner, and he's just like he's just reading. He's reading. He's got his nose in a book.
Hold on, I'm gonna roll a deception because what Seeker's going to do, what I want Seeker to do, is he's going to straight up walk into the library, probably walk past Kiki at some point and wave and do like a soft little hello. By the way, if anyone for the audience, Seeker is like doing that little gremlin grin. Uh, he's been successfully
Gremlin.
stealthy, completely on accident. Uh,
Little gremlin, what will he do?
and just he's going to just start looking through the books to see how they're ordered because everyone orders their libraries differently. Because like you got like some personal preference ordering, maybe by like genres and sections, but they're all different placed. Yeah. So he's going to roll a deception just to see if Kiki if he can
Great.
make Kiki not notice he's in there, even though he said hi. You know.
Beautiful. I'm gonna roll too.
24.
Oh my god. I don't think I could even roll that high anyway. One. So, yeah, he doesn't know. Or if he does notice, he mistakes you for one of the troop members who are free to go about the library. So,
That investigation roll was just to see how this library is like ordered, and also if anything seems interesting.
Okay. So I can let you know about that. So you kind of just waltz right in. You just kind of go all the way, and you start from the back to work your way forward. So you're literally like 5 to 7 feet away from Kiki, who has noticed you in their periphery, but doesn't really know that it's you, and just kind of gives like a little wave, like hey,
Yeah.
And when you get to these shelves, you notice they are divided by genre. So you do have like plays, like a whole shelf of like plays and musicals. You also have another shelf with like fiction. You've got another section with like some biographies. So they are divided by specific genres, but as you take another look, like you pull one out and you notice that the last name is like S, even though it was like on the top shelf, and then you realize this isn't by alphabetical order.
Oh dear. Ah boy.
Yeah, no, it's not by alphabetical. So I have to say, where I imagine you're currently standing, which is across from I don't know if you're directly across from Kiki or if you're like down a bit near the end of the shelf, but either way, you are in front of a bunch of fairy tales. So that's pretty neat.
Ooh, fairy tales. I will say, Seeker's just going to offhandedly say, it's a real shame you don't order these by, alphabetical. And as he starts like going through the books and like picking up like occasional fairy tales, like flipping through the pages, see if he catches anything interesting. Uh, it's only a matter of time until he shoot out of this place, probably. So, gotta make that selection count.
So God, I love this D20, even though I'm rolling for shit. It's perfect. When you say this, he still hasn't quite made the connection that you are Seeker. So when you mention the alphabetical, he just gives a tired sigh and says, For the last time, Emma, it's chronological. Okay?
Chronological.
Yes, I did it in order of when I got them.
In-
So
hmm.
please stop bugging me about it as he keeps
Personally, I would have
flipping through
done
the
them
page.
chronological by terms they were made.
Well, I mean, it's kind of, it really depends.
What's the key
You know,
factor in this depends?
well, I mean, some of them are ordered chronologically in terms of when they were created, mostly the nonfiction section. The fiction ones are a little more difficult.
I completely understand that. Sometimes they reference older stories and the stories get changed.
Hmm. He flips a page. this man, this man's a bookworm, okay? He's
He
not
doesn't.
gonna freaking.
I cannot believe this. Alright, Seeker's going to go look for more interesting books. He now has like a small stack of fairy tales in his arms that he like
Oh,
carefully puts on the table, like in the center of the room. Uh, like going to look for more interesting books. That's a 17 this time.
hey. Um, so you go to another section. This one seems to be more historical. It does seem to be more nonfiction, but you do see another small section with like myths and legends and whatnot. Um, you've got some books, relaying, specific events that has happened during Inkwell. Some of them focus on specific towns. Um, but you actually notice there's a book that looks out of place, only because the title kind of seems different.
Seeker picks it up.
Good. And on the front, and obviously the spine of it, it says A Fisherman's Tale.
Oh,
It doesn't seem to be a history book, at least as far as you can tell.
Seeker is going to go flip through the pages to see what this book is about. Because sometimes, history books have those like really weird names to them. They don't say they're history books, but they are history books, and it's very confusing when you're trying to put things in places and you haven't seen the book before, and then you like you ask the librarian, hey, why is this book in the history section? And they're just like, oh, it is a history book. You just gotta look closer at it. You're just like, what does this mean? There's been like a poem in here? And they're just like,
You
no,
gotta
don't
turn it
worry about it.
sideways and squint.
Don't worry about it. It's actually a history book. And yeah.
But you can already tell that, well, for the most part, you're pretty sure that this isn't a history book.
Hmm.
Because, every other page has a really nice illustration. And I mean, history books can have illustrations, but this does seem more like a storybook. And it tells of just a humble fisherman who accidentally ended up on a pirate ship and sailed the world.
Hmm. What does this pirate man look like?
What?
what the illustrations? What does the pirate man look like?
What? What does what look like?
What does the pirate man look like?
uh, I mean, it's they kind of look pretty basic, you
Hmm.
know.
That's fair.
A certain arrangement of shapes, kind of blue. Anyway,
Oh god.
actually, speak up for a moment. You better not be trying to rearrange them again.
Well, the real question is, I'm I'm 90% certain this isn't a history book, but there is a chance it may be history.
Huh. Emma, please. You actually hear the creak of the rocking chair as he gets up. He has closed his book. and now goes and starts heading in your direction. Since you're near one of the like frontmore bookcases, so imagine he's turning the corner. What are you going on? Ah! Oh, oh, oh! I'm sorry.
My dear storyteller, your observational skills are a bit lacking today.
Uh, well, well, can you blame me? This book's really good.
I cannot.
Oh,
Seeker
I'm
is
so sorry.
still
I
holding
thought.
the book, and he's just he's almost like doubled over because he's got.
It wasn't that funny, was it?
I I've been in here for a few minutes, dear.
Well, I
We
mean,
had we had an entire conversation.
he kind of just scratches the back of his head with like with his hook hand and goes, "Well, you know, anyone's allowed to wander in here. So I didn't expect you.
I do have a
No
question. What
offense
I
or
have in
anything."
common with your tall yellow cowboy friend?
Well, you know, he could be sensible when he needs to, but this is my personal library, so I think I should be able to organize it how I feel.
And then may I ask about this book in this section? Uh, and Seeker kind of holds up the book he's holding that he looked through. Uh,
Um, would you would would you like to roll insight?
oh boy, an insight.
An insight.
15.
Oh, hey, pretty good. So, as as soon as you show him the book, at first he looks ready to tell you, but then he notices what the title, and for a moment you notice him kind of his smile drop, but then it picks back up again. Oh, that's. You're right. That's in the wrong section. Should really be with the storybooks.
Actually, on second thought, Seeker kind of adjusts the book in his hand. It's still partially open. He was careful with it, but it's still partially open. Uh, God, uh, there is a reason I asked about the illustrations because Seeker is a smart boy, but only when he wants to be. So I am going to roll a simple wisdom saving throw.
uh,
That's. Oh, Seeker, why did you succeed on this roll?
yeah, good
Uh,
stuff. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why you rolled a whiz save.
I rolled a whiz save because it kind of seems like Kiki doesn't want to bring it up, but also Seeker does want to bring it up.
Well, you could always like say it in a different way. I don't know. You don't have to ask directly.
Seeker. Boy. It's probably a bad idea, but he wants to do it anyway.
He's like, I shouldn't, and yet.
He kind of like pauses on his wording for a minute and just continues. Well, I suppose it could be taken as the personal history. If I'm reading this correctly. You can't. He's wearing sunglasses. You can't see his eyes, but he makes like the squint motion at the paper.
And likewise, it's kind of difficult to see Kiki's eyes, especially since one is covered and the other one you really can't tell where that is. It's just I don't know. Does he have an eye there? Who knows? But you have a feeling though that he kind of is holding one. He's holding his hook arm with his other hand, and he kind of looks away for a little bit. Uh, but then he holds out his hand. Do you mind if I put that back?
Sure. And Seeker hands it over. God, Seeker's so very curious now. That wasn't an answer.
so, so Kiki takes the book in his hand and you notice kind of another wistful look at it.
Has that one got a story behind it in itself?
And hold on a second. Where is it? Okay. So you ask that. Oh, damn, why do you have to be good? Why'd you have to be good with this one roll? Hmm? That's a deception roll.
I can't roll high enough for that. Yeah.
Oh, well. Certain stories always have other tales that led to them, or a history. But as he speaks, he starts walking back towards the rocking chair. Um, and it looks as if he's kind of motioning you that way.
Ooh, is this a story time? Seeker's following.
um, he actually just sits back down, kind of makes himself comfortable in the chair. And he actually does have the other book, like kind of balanced a little precariously on his hook hand. And it looks like he's going to open the one that he was reading earlier. Then he takes another look at the storybook. And he just kind of regards it quietly.
God, Seeker. Is there another chair in the room?
I think there's at least a stool. There's a wooden stool.
Seeker takes the stool, drags it over, kind of sits on it, and he has like one foot propped up on the first rung, so like his knee is up, and he has like I like the cross fingered like with the head on top kind of look. There's a story time here. Tell the story. Tell the story, pirate man. You have one captive audience member already, and you haven't even started talking.
And Kiki kind of notices you've led the stool here, and you're sitting supposedly in anticipation, and Kiki sighs, but gives a little bit of a chuckle. So you probably want to hear this one, huh? And he sets down the book he had been reading before. He is now concentrated on the storybook in his hands.
I mean, you've already told amazing stories so far from the short time I've known you.
That's true. That's true. And again, he hasn't quite opened it yet. But the way his hand kind of lingers over the book, over the cover, you have a feeling that he hasn't opened this one in a while.
Seeker is just going to sit there patiently. He understands some stories take longer to tell than others.
Oh, me, ow. Anyway, but
Wait, no, that wasn't a jab. I didn't realize. Wait.
No, it's me. It kind of hurt though.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's good. But no, it's good. It's good. So after a little bit, he does open the book, and would you like to make an investigation roll?
An investigation.
Yes, because your perception.
19.
Oh, okay, good.
He is looking very attentively, so.
Yes, and I'm thinking based on the angle, like it's a little sideways, but it you can still kind of read a little bit. Like you just kind of lean forward a little, um,
This
and as
this man has no
go ahead.
concept of personal space. However much forward is needed is definitely done.
So as the cover is opened, the inside page seems to have like a it's like a dedication. It says, "To my dear Gertrude."
What the fuck is Gertrude?
Okay.
Anyway.
So he turns the page. He does not say anything. Um, and and he goes, um, how much of this would you like me to tell? It might be kind of long.
Seeker looks at the paper, like looks at the book, looks at Kiki, and he just goes, all of it.
And you don't, you don't have to roll any insight for this. He actually looks rather touched. He's like, it's almost like his look says, "Finally, someone wants me to ramble."
Yes, go ahead.
Do it.
Seeker's throwing open the floodgates.
And so he clears his throat once more and goes, Chapter 1: The Lonely Fisherman. Uh, and I have to say, I did not actually prep a story, so I'm just going to have to make some bullshit up.
I mean, if you want to paraphrase, you can,
Oh,
because
yeah.
stories take just
Yo, I mean, honestly, points
words.
at you. Your power with that short story and the other one.
God, I.
But as he begins reading, it started with like a soft tone as we start with this fisherman, um, who had a bit of a wanderlust about them, but was kind of stuck in a portside town. They would do various jobs, but nothing really something that they wanted to do. But but then he starts growing a little more animated as he talks about how he's how this fisherman snuck onto a ship, found out it was a pirate ship, but the crew seemed to accept them, and they started to help on their escapades. Yes, this did involve maybe looting one or two ships, but they also visited unknown places, looked for treasure, didn't find any, but really, the treasure is just the friends you had all along, you know. Um, I am worrying.
Shh, don't worry. Don't worry
Well,
about that 28 on
anyway,
deception. Anyway.
I know you had a 28 on deception, and I am looking. Uh, and a few chapters pass, and he tells of the different people that they met. Uh, and even though this is supposed to be just a story, you kind of recognize some of the people. Uh, Not any of like any by name, but like you can tell when they're talking about humans or orcs, elves, meeting different folk.
Yeah.
They also tell of different creatures that they had encountered, some that they were able to dissuade from fighting them, some that they did have to fight.
Hmm.
Um, and then, he turns another page and he looks actually very cheerful. And he looks proud. He's got some gusto about this, and he's telling the next portion of this story. Um, and then he turns another page, and then he grows softer, but not out of there's no sadness. There's actually a bit of nostalgia.
Good, I was
As
very prepared for you to stab me there, I'm not gonna lie.
haha, don't worry, the stab will happen later.
Oh no.
So anyway, um, then they get to a portion where they are like exploring an underwater cave, um, where they're able to travel onto another island, and this is where they find someone else, a small someone else, a child, and this fisherman who has braved so many adventures seems to pick up another adventure as they take the child with them. They had been alone all this time, and they understand how lonely life can be without someone that cares for you. So, so then it kind of continues with this small child just being on the ship with the rest of the crew, um, and it looks like the story is winding down as the child grows, and they get to the last page, and there is an illustration, and and of course he's reading the last couple lines, and they all live happily ever after. The end. But you notice that this illustration has two people. One, you have a feeling that that fisherman looks very much like a certain person that you know, but also another figure, a child with them, and they both look happy.
What does the child look like?
Uh,
This. I'm. Wick! Don't
um,
kill me like that.
anyway,
Wick!
dodges the question.
No!
Um,
I had a thought. Wait. Come
uh
back.
huh. Me, tell me what's up.
don't. I don't know if this is the correct conclusion to draw, but I. God. Does it look like Roxy?
Yeah. Uh,
What?
no, it doesn't.
Wait. Okay.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
That was my first thought. Actually, that was my second thought. First one, of course, it was Bevan, because is it Bevan? Is
Oh,
it
baby.
Bevan?
No, it's not that
Okay.
either.
Uh,
You you notice though that they actually look relatively similar in design. Because you see that this other that this child is rather toon esque.
hmm.
You can only imagine that they are a toon. And they have kind of like it's a lighter shade of blue. Um, and Kiki gives a little bit of a another soft smile, looking at this illustration, and then quietly closes the book. So, what did you
I just
think?
clapped my hands. I did like a little golf clap because loud claps, not my style, but Seeker definitely claps. It was very well
um,
done.
well, thank you. I and he does look a little bashful, but he does mention, well, I kind of wrote that one.
Oh, I definitely couldn't tell. Seeker being sarcastic.
um,
You did a very wonderful job
hold
with it,
on,
though.
I wanna roll something. Oh, okay, good. Give He picks up on the sarcasm. Oh, I know. It's a little ridiculous,
No,
but
no. If you want to tell your personal story, then go ahead, by all means.
well, I mean, I must admit, some of the events were either exaggerated or maybe fabricated, but you know, the story wasn't really for me,
Huh? Who's it for?
you know. So, but the way you pulled up a stool and sat down in front of me, that that really reminded me of Bevan.
I
I
mean, I
loved hearing
always
my little
enjoy her.
stories.
You know, I did tell Bevan a story while we were here, and she said I sounded remarkably like you.
um, and he kind of gives another uh, a little smile, a little blushy. Oh, well, that's really nice.
And Seeker is like kind of uh not sitting in that like curious position anymore, but just kind of like sitting properly, quote unquote, on the stool. Uh, and but you did dodge a bit of a question. Who is it for?
And he's like, hmm? Oh, well, I mean, currently this story is really for anyone. I tried to write it in mind of adults and children alike. As he stands up from the rocking chair and kind of starts pacing a little bit. There are library, so he's kind of taking a look outside.
Hmm.
Pretty nice out. Maybe I should take some reading outside, but I'm not sure. I really like it in here.
I mean, good. Fresh air is always good for the brain, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten my fair share over the years. I think staying indoors isn't too bad now.
I like libraries as much as the next storyteller, but I will say nothing gets your heart going faster than going outside.
Yes. And he kind of leans forward, kind of nearly pressing his face against the window, but he's got like a little bit of space between it. Yeah. Really is it's really plenty of space to run around and tumble, you know. Gertrude always loved doing that. And the troop members would have fun with it too. I'm just glad that they're safe now, you know?
Yeah. You all have talked things out more, correct?
Oh. Oh, yes. Things are kind of shaky, but I think we're getting through things all right.
Seeker gives a nod. Hey, question, does this window have any like latches to open it?
Uh, they sure do.
God, Seeker really wants to try it to be fucking cheeky again and open the windows. But
But then
Kiki's
do
so
it.
bad against it. Seeker's just gonna kind of look at Kiki, look at the window. Kiki's like still almost pressed up against the window, right?
Yes.
Is he like right over where like the latches are?
Uh, I mean, you can kind of you can very carefully get the latch. He's not covering it or anything.
Alright. Seeker is just going to walk closer to the window, and it's just well, there's no point staring outside. He's gonna, he's going to open. He's gonna just flip the open the latch on the window. Please tell me this is one of the windows that like pushes the door the pane out.
Yes, yes, it is. Just push this man outside.
I'm not pushing him outside. It's his fault for leaning against the window. Anyway. The window is now open. Stop having it be closed.
And he was like, oh, and admittedly, he had been leaning a bit forward, so it looks like he could possibly fall.
Oh, wait. Seeker's gonna make sure he doesn't actually fall out the window, but, you know.
You want to roll? You want to roll some decks there?
I can sure roll some decks. That's 15.
Good. You kind of grab him by the back of his coat as he's like, oh, okay, enough of that. He kind of stumbles back. He's like, oh, yeah, we don't need that happening again. And he kind of straightens himself out a little. Well, I guess this place was getting a little stuffy. And he actually walks over to the other window and voluntarily opens it. It's just, sometimes you kind of want to keep a controlled environment, at least with books. But
Oh, I know. I had to work at a library before I went outside.
so you worked in a library.
I did a lot of maintenance thing. I was too young to handle the other stuff. Does like a hand gesture at like everything.
Well, he kind of actually has this look on his face like, lucky you.
And
go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I kind of wish I worked in a library.
Why do you wish you worked in a library? This is much more interesting. Let me tell you.
And he gives a little chuckle. Well, yeah, I suppose. But, well, that's all in the past. Can't really change that.
I mean, there's always room for change.
Possibly. But I think we've had enough for change for at least a month.
Seeker kind of gives like a considering like look and then like a offhand nod like, yeah, that can be a lot of change.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that Gertrude got along with you guys and that they're now in a safe. And he stops for a moment. I'm sorry, what? Bevan's all right now, so.
Seeker is kind of you can't see, but Seeker is staring at you blankly.
Bevan's now with a probably better guardian than most of us. So.
Gertrude?
No, but and kind of starts stammering a little. No, I said we're clearly talking about Bevan. I don't know where you heard.
Looking at you. Seeker is looking at you. I would say with his big old dumb eyes, but you can't see them. He is just looking at you, I will say. It's his stare is not relenting.
Um, he can feel your eyes on him. Oh, yes, let's go.
Oh.
That's a deception roll.
Oh.
That one, buddy. Good job.
Managed to fail my deception check, which isn't great. Like, my insight isn't amazing.
But, I mean, he really is trying to gloss over it. But as he's trying to explain, he starts getting the words mixed up.
Hey, calm down.
So, so
Seekers.
no, it's oh I did it. I did it again, didn't I? Just just forget about it. It's isn't important. It's something. It's fine. He's kind of walking back towards the rocking chair.
Something
He
you'd
sits
rather
down.
forget or refuse to remember?
No, I. It's not. It's nothing like that. And you can tell he's actually a little agitated, but he's kind of more anxious and ashamed rather than angry. And
Then
you notice
what is
he's
it?
rocking in this rocking chair. He's trying to calm a little bit.
Then what exactly is it?
Well, and he kind of glances to the left of him where he placed the storybook down, and he picks it up again. I well, things were exaggerated, fabricated a bit. You know, this is supposed to be a fantastical story. As he kind of opens the book and flips through pages, but that was on purpose. It was for, and he goes back to the front page. It was for my daughter. Her name is Gertrude.
Seeker is just waiting for Kiki to explain everything because look, man, this it's Seeker may be curious, but it'll come with time.
Uh-huh. And that time is now.
That time is now because I will say Seeker is still looking at you.
so so he he grows quiet for a moment and then begins to speak. This story isn't entirely untrue. I mean, I'm I'm no pirate, but I was I was a sailor. Still kind of am. I mean, I could, but well, I was kind of stuck for the most part in a town, and he, as he speaks, he does flip to the corresponding pages.
Go ahead.
I don't like those rolls. Anyway, um, so, but but you know, at the one day it was the day. I was going to be able to go out to sea. Except, well, I got on the wrong boat. I mean, to be fair, the ship names were very similar. And I
Completely
think anyone could
understandable.
make that. Oh, go ahead.
Seeker just said completely understandable.
Well, they were spelled very similarly. So I went in and holed up in the place. It wasn't until 3 days later that the crew found me.
Huh?
I mean, I wouldn't say I was a stowaway. It's just such fascinating literature near the center, and I couldn't help but look at the maps. And then I came up for air, and they all looked at me and was very confused. So, uh, and he kind of chuckles a little bit. But yes, this was a pirate ship. Luckily, the crew didn't, threaten our lives or anything. But they decided that we were okay, at least to stay for now. It's not like they could put us back anyway.
Hold on. I need to roll
Uh huh.
something. God,
Uh
I
huh.
didn't realize how close this story would hit for Seeker. God damn it. Okay.
Oh boy.
Unless you really want to try roll insight on that, because 13 is very iffy. Uh,
What do you want me to roll something or no?
you can roll an insight, just real fast.
My insight has been
Insight or
abysmal.
perception? Insight or
Wait, hold on. Let me
perception?
perception. I'll roll both. Let's just take the higher one. No, I'm kidding. Okay, well that's decent. At least decent. Oh, that wasn't it.
One.
I hit enter too quickly.
Holy.
Just one.
Just one.
No, that's a 17.
17. At
I don't think it does. That doesn't make it though, because your deception, you covered it up.
that doesn't make it to the deception, but I will say deception can't cover instinctual responses. Uh,
Oh,
you at I will say the mention of they decided we were okay. There was just a slight like twitch of the hands, uh, for Seeker, and then like a readjustment, so they're like behind his back now rather than like down in the front.
I am looking.
Otherwise, he just seems fine.
And in fact, Kiki does pause and take a glance at that, but does not say anything. Just kind of continues on. And it was hard work. They did put us to work. But they were a bit of a rowdy bunch, but they were very. And did we have to pillage a couple ships? Yeah, but we try to stay out of it. But otherwise, we did get to see some fantastical sights.
No. Anyway.
Oh my god!
Seeker's
When you
right
roll
as
a nat 20 on deception, but your deception's a plus 10, so now that's a freaking 30, and I'm just
yeah,
like, Seeker, can you please?
yeah. No lore today. Anyway.
I want the lore! I
uh,
can't keep giving the lore!
yeah, Seeker just kind of like nods in understanding because yeah, that's what pirates do.
That is what pirates do.
That is what pirates do.
Um, and we did have to fight things as well. But we got used to it. It was, but it wasn't until, well, we had faced a lot of challenges, but of course, the only thing more challenging than creatures or other people or the wilderness, it was the sea. And he kind of pauses and flipping any pages. Of course, I'd never go into it in here. And he closes the book. I used to read this story to her sometimes. She really liked it. Just because, it was loosely based on we were going through. But when you travel on the sea, there are bound to be rough tides. And there was one particularly nasty storm. And Well, we were all hunkering down, but
Keep going, keep going.
but and Kiki is finding it hard to continue, but they just take a pause for a moment and then continue. I I don't know how she slipped through, but she was out when she wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to watch We, and she went up on the deck, and well, it was quite tumultuous out there. And by the time I came up, I well, and he stops rocking in his chair and just kind of stares hard at the floor. I tried, I tried to run to her, but the crew held me back. They said it was dangerous, and of course it was, but could have maybe, but either way.
Wick, I care so much. Wick, Wick, I care so much about this pirate lad. Wick, don't kill me like this.
Well, it's gonna keep going.
Uh,
Not with much, but there's a little more. Um,
okay.
um, he places the book back where he had it before, um, and now he just kind of has his hands in his lap. You know, she was always a good swimmer. I thought maybe there was the ghost of a chance, but with seas like that, it's only she was so young. There was there was no hope. I should have let go a long time ago. Now I now I have. However, let me roll something. Okay. Yeah, you have a feeling that he has not let it go. He tries to hide it, but it's pretty evident.
Seeker, 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 seeker. Uh, seeker. Seeker buddy. Okay, I'm shaking my boy. All right. Seeker takes a few not cautious, just slow steps forward towards the rocking chair. Uh, his his hooves kind of have a like a dull knocking sound against the wood. I imagine it's gotten a little quiet now. And Seeker just looks at you and oh buddy, I don't that you've tried lying. You can probably already tell that it did not work. Uh Seeker just kind of just wordlessly opens his arms and like, you know, a gesture. Like a hug gesture. You want a hug, buddy? He doesn't say that. That's me.
I know. Um, and he he does stand up, but when you Would you like to make a con check, save, whatever?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Don't worry about it.
That's a 9.
Okay. He he steps forward and then kind of bonks you on the head, but with his own head. It's a head bonk.
Oh, does he now?
And he and you do kind of stumble back a little, like that was not what I was expecting.
Oh, oh, boy, you have activated something else. Hey, can you roll a con save now?
Oh yeah, my con is great. Let me roll this. Yeah, just as I suspected. 10.
10. Hey, you already head bonks probably aren't your natural state of greeting people.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but like you head bonk Seeker, and there's a moment where you can kind of tell he just like did a rapid fire blink because he wasn't expecting that. Before there is just this grin that it like echoes his face, and he kind of like grabs you by one of the shoulders and bonk. Uh, you are now you've now been bonked, and your head was already kind of dizzy before. But you know that that was sure an impact. Uh, you haven't fallen over or anything, but yeah, you definitely felt that.
uh, yeah, and you can kind of see like the dizzy symbol for a moment, where his eye would be.
And
But then he kind of shakes it off a little.
and then Seeker kind of pulls you into a hug.
um, and as Seeker does so, you kind of feel Kiki tentatively, you know, finish, kind of complete the hug. Um, and then
Seeker.
you feel their grip get a little bit tighter on you. And
Hold on. I actually need to roll something real fast. Hold on,
oh, okay,
hold on, hold on.
okay.
Is it with the hook hand? I need to know. Is it with the hook hand?
No, it is not.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
That was still pretty bad.
Me, what is happening?
That was also very terrible. Holy shit. You can feel Seeker kind of like tense for a moment before doing like a very quick exhale. Uh, Sort of patting you on the back and going, "Do you remember what I already said about telling stories after people are gone, correct?"
And he does not say anything, but you kind of, since you're both in a hug, you feel him nod slowly.
You haven't let it go, and this is completely my personal opinion, but I don't think you should let it go. Rather, keep it close to your heart. Yes?
Uh, hold on a second. Me. Now I gotta roll something. Hold on a second. No, don't roll nice when you. No, I'm gonna do this. Okay. No, fuck the dice. All right.
Oh.
No. I tell the dice no.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Reality can be whatever we want. Um, you feel Kiki shudder for a moment, and then you realize he has started to cry.
Oh, buddy.
I was gonna have him roll a whiz save, and he did well both times. I was like, "Oh, I'll impose disadvantage." It still went well, and I was like, "Gosh darn it! No, I'm making this man cry."
Oh no, buddy. Seeker just kind of, just, he doesn't say anything, but he does just kind of start doing like that you know, gentle sort of hum when you're consoling someone. Uh, it's it's a song I don't think Kiki would recognize. But it sounds remarkably like some sort of lullaby.
Me, don't make me cry now. But and he does cry for a little bit, but then slowly grows silent. Uh, and then he does gently kind of break the hug a little to face you. Um, and as he rubs at his face with his hand, not his hook hand, he he says, "I'm sorry
For what?
for what I said. I
Seeker looks blankly at you. Uh,
I that happened before. I called, and he kind of grimaces. I I called Bevan by my daughter's name, and I didn't want them to think, and he takes another shaky breath. I was trying to forget, or at least put it aside, but they were just so much like her. And you want to know the funny thing? He didn't even mind. It's as if they were fine with playing along. But I knew that isn't healthy. It's not something you should do. I can't have Gertie back, but
but you can always remember that she was here.
and you can see the whole time he's kind of been gripping his arm rather tightly, but he eases up a little on it. Yeah, I suppose. I just hope I didn't hurt them.
Ah, boy. Seeker does not know what to say in response to that because he doesn't. I shake my boy. He has a 7 in wisdom. Uh, uh, just kind of looks at you for a moment. This isn't what I'm supposed to do. This isn't what I'm trying. Uh,
Sorry, I'm circling. God, that's a mood.
and this is me a magic think moment because oh boy, often similarities can be drawn between a lot of things. It's parallels are useful tool in literature, but parallels only go so far when you have two completely different things.
And literature isn't always real life.
No.
And I realize that. I'm sorry. You you shouldn't have had to hear that. I'm I'm glad. I'm glad that
You don't have to apologize. I wanted to know. I did ask.
um, I'm sorry, you got me with the. I wanted to know.
Look, secret
This is one
lore boy.
curious boy.
Yeah.
And he tries to stifle the laugh, but yes, you are quite curious one, huh?
You could call it that. Seeker does like a hand motion of like the yeah sort of variety.
Ugh. Um, and with the little bit of laughter that he had, it looks like he's at least starting to feel at least marginally better. But he does take one last glance at the storybook and then turns back to you. Do you want to go outside? Maybe fresh air would do us good.
Seeker kind of looks over Kiki, and Kiki's still like post angst state. Because that's yeah post sad state.
That's sad.
Well, you told me a story. How about I tell you one?
And he kind of lift his eyebrows kind of lift a little. I don't even know if he has eyebrows, but you can tell he's intrigued.
Seeker gives. Hold on, I need to make sure this item works how I think it's gonna work because I really want to do
uh
this. Okay, it does.
Hello.
Uh, Seeker, uh, takes. I don't know how the windows are set up. Can Seeker get a running start towards the windows?
Uh,
You know, the now
um,
open windows.
yes, there is a. There are three windows, so one should be like right directly across from you. So
Yeah. Seeker looks to one of the windows, takes one step forward, takes another, and then kind of breaks out into a sprint and he just jumps out the window.
ah!
Don't worry. I have item with feather fall, so he lands all right. And he's standing out in the alley below and he's just like, "Well, come on. We don't exactly have all day here."
and
Well, I suppose we do have all day.
but I have to admit, so you have tumbled out of this window. Well, no, you left gracefully out, I can say. Um,
My mind was just going parkour the entire
parkour.
time. Look, as soon as you opened the window, Seeker immediately went, "I want to jump out a window now." I'm just like, "Wait, what? Hello?"
We jumped out a
That was
window.
not part of a plan. Anyway, yeah.
Um, and Kiki had scrambled to the to the window where you leapt out of. Um, do you mind rolling some insight, but with advantage because you just gave this man a hug? Uh,
Okay, hold on. I
please.
definitely know the buttons for this command. Totally.
No, you can just roll it twice. It
Hey, there we
doesn't.
go.
Yeah, that's
That's a
good. That
12.
works. Me, that's close enough.
Close enough.
You do notice for a split second that he actually had some genuine panic on his face. Um, and uh, and at first you're thinking, it shouldn't have been that big of a deal, especially since toons jump out of windows a lot. Of course, you're real though, so so it's kind of like,
Would have
huh.
been fine.
But you also realize as he is tentatively looking side to side, like, how do I really climb out of this window?
Just go through the front door. I want it to be dramatic.
You do realize that maybe it was related to that incident.
Ha. Seeker didn't consider that. This is Lowen's game.
But anyway, you see him disappear for a moment, and yes, he is going down the stairs. and you see him kind of just stumble out of the front door. You really need to be more careful. I'm not fit enough for this.
Oh, pish posh. Seeker kind of like waves a hand at the terms "be more careful."
Seriously.
Come
And he
on, we
kind of
have
trots
dancing to
over to
do.
where you are.
I will just say, Seeker has mentioned that they have dancing to do. And Seeker grabs Kiki by the arm, and you are being
Ah!
pulled into a dance rather abruptly.
Ah!
Uh,
He he looks kind of nervous, but he does not resist.
yeah. I
You are
will.
now pulled into dance. Should we
I,
both roll performance? What are we doing?
yeah, I'm rolling performance. I don't have a story in mind. I didn't have a story in mind, but I will note he is doing storytelling while dancing. Honestly, an amazing feat. Uh, that's a 19, which is astounding.
Yeah, a 22. So,
I think,
yeah, suddenly the both of you are just.
yeah. And Seeker is, I will say, is just, I don't know what type of story he's telling, but it's, you're a storyteller. It's some sort of, I would say, you can probably tack it as pseudo history, where
Ah.
it's history, but also it probably has some like made up facts about it. But honestly, it's also kind of hard to tell because this is Fantasyland. And I think you did roll higher than me on performance. There is somewhere like halfway through this sort of song and dance, literally, where he just goes, for saying you're too old for running down the stairs, you're pretty good at this.
And he kind of, surprisingly, he lets out a bit of a hearty laugh and goes, "Yeah, well, I'd hope I'd at least be able to still perform." And you both are just dancing and singing.
Yeah.
Uh, I would note that was a perception roll.
Oh, should I also roll perception?
No, you don't have to because that was for Ruffles that is inside the inn has taken zero notice of what's happening outside.
I will say you can probably get advantage because it's not quiet. Seeker is not a quiet man.
All right, let me roll again then. They don't have any modifier to it though, so
It's he has
all right,
horseshoes on. It's literally steel hitting pavement.
all right, that's a 12.
Yeah,
So then,
I would say you probably take mild notice at some sort of thing going on outside, Ruffles. Something's happening.
and as the two of you are in the throes of performing this rather really nice story, Ruffles kind of pokes their head out from the front of the inn, and they just have this look like, yep, performing again, random impromptu dancing. Yeah, it makes sense. And then they do a double take. Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
When did that guy get here?
And so is there anything else, or do you think we should just like zoom out on that?
I think we should just zoom out on that because I didn't have anything else. All I wanted to do was at least have one dance segment.
Yes,
One.
one as a treat.
One. I did not expect to help a man through emotional trauma, but I feel great about myself.
Whoopsies.
I think Seeker did pretty good.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So yes, we zoom out on the scene of the two of you dancing and singing together as Ruffles looks on in confusion and kind of just they're just boggled.
It's really good dance though.
Yes, it is.
For a seemingly impromptu dance on Kiki's part. Keeping up remarkably well.
Yeah. Um and we kind of just pan out. It kind of shows the theater and the inn. And I'd have to say that that's it.
Yeah! God, this was fun.
Oh boy. Well, thank you very much for playing, and
It was
I
fun.
would
It was
like
amazing.
I would like to thank the listeners who are
Yeah.
listening.
Oh boy.
And with that, I would like to say goodbye.